Daniel went into the lion's den, survived, and then the people that put him in there ended up getting thrown in themselves. Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego got thrown into the fire, survived, and that same fire ended up killing the people that put them in there. Haman set up a noose for Mordecai to hang from, but then things got flipped and Haman ended up hanging from his own noose. Pharaoh and the Egyptians thought the Israelites were trapped with their backs against the wall at the Red Sea, but it was actually them that were about to be trapped, and they were. And lastly, Satan thought he had victory when Jesus died on the cross, but it was actually Jesus who had victory because he had never sinned, and therefore that opened up the pathway for all to receive salvation from the Lord. All of these stories show us that it appears the enemy was going to be victorious right up until the very end. This is the type of season that I've been speaking about for 2 years now, and honestly, I thought that we were going to see the end by now, but we haven't. That said, the message remains. We are still in that type of season, and I do believe that we are finally getting closer to the end. Now, if that's true, God's people and those that are walking in a righteous way are going to have to face the trials that are represented in those stories. You think things are bad now, but have you been thrown into a lion's den? Have you had a noose set up for you? Have you been thrown into the fire? Have you had to walk to a cross by being beaten, mocked, abused, and then nailed? No, you haven't. And now, I'm not saying we're going to face these exact storylines, but they will be similar situations. And in the end, we will see who is willing to stand in the Lord and who won't. You know, the more that we get closer to the end, the harder it becomes for people. And that's where people start to get squeezed out. They become whistleblowers. They panic. They resign. They get all caught up because they aren't willing to stand the true trials. I don't know about you, but I want to taste the victory of the Lord. I want to feel the victory of the Lord. I want to walk and experience every single part of the victory of the Lord. And that's where I stand. And that's where I walk. And that is where I will be.